Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back to OES Stories. My name's Addie Hummelt and this is Ben Reynolds. He's a senior and I'm going to interview him on his commitment to play lacrosse next year at Colby College. So Ben, how did you get started playing lacrosse?
I didn't start playing lacrosse until around 7th, 8th grade. I lived abroad before coming to OES, and then when I moved back to OES, I'd never even heard of lacrosse, but it was a very big thing here. And so as a 6th grade, I went and watched one of their games and instantly fell in love with the sport and started playing it.
Where did you live abroad?
Lived abroad in Amsterdam, Moscow, and Tokyo, 2 years in each spot, and definitely didn't have lacrosse over there. And so, yeah, once we moved back, I heard about the sport and then started playing it.
Very cool. So what do you think are like some of the skills that are necessary for success in lacrosse, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of physically, having really good hand-eye coordination is one of the things that's most important in lacrosse, and then also just kind of having a good kind of body awareness, kind of working with throughout your whole body, kind of from kind of your hips, range of motion, to kind of like in your power from like actually like sprint speed. I think lacrosse is a really cool sport because it kind of integrates a lot, like you kind of have to use your full body, and it's kind of, there's a lot of different aspects to it. And then mentally, I think just kind of being kind of prepared to take some hits, take some checks, and really kind of like, I don't know, one of the most important things we always say on our lacrosse team is like running through a ground ball, even if someone's going to be like hitting your arms, your legs, and just kind of mentally being ready for that kind of toughness of the game.
And did you commit for attack or midi?
I'm currently committed as an attackman, but I've been talking to my coach I might start as a midfielder as a freshman.
Very cool. So, kind of along the same lines, what do you do to prepare physically and mentally for the game? I know like the girls team, we do like guided meditations before the games, but that could look different for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So before a game, normally our team kind of likes to show up at least an hour and a half beforehand, and the first thing I kind of do that's both kind of physical but it really is more mental, is play around 30 minutes of wall ball before the game, and that's kind of just getting my stick sharp, but really that kind of allows me to kind of just like focus up, kind of think about the game ahead. So it's really a lot more, even though it kind of looks like kind of physical preparation, it's a lot more mental. And then from there out, usually, I don't know, we all have a tradition of, we all drink like a yerba mate, like, I don't know, 45 minutes before the game to really get a little extra caffeine boost. And then from there, head out onto the field, get our warm-ups in. That's more kind of the physical aspect, stretching, and then getting our shooting in, and then we're ready to roll.
Nice. Do you guys have like a set warm-up like of each drill, or does it change every game?
Yeah, so for the past 3 years, we've had kind of the same warm-up where we start with kind of line passing, or I guess first stretching, kind of your normal dynamic stretching. And then you kind of have a few minutes to stretch out anything personally you need to, and then from there we'll go into our kind of stick skills with line passing, some shooting, and then we usually end with like 4-on-3, just kind of some offense and defensive drills.
Sounds like a great warm-up.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite meal to have on game days?
Keeping kind of with OES sports tradition, our team excuse me, always goes to New Seasons beforehand. And I'm a big fan of kind of getting a bagel with avocado and bacon on it, and then that is usually my pregame meal.
Sounds super good. Who's been your biggest inspiration in the OES lacrosse program? This could be a coach or a fellow player, anything.
Yeah, I've had a lot of great inspiration, a lot of great teammates, a lot of great coaches. Kind of the OES lacrosse program is I full-heartedly believe that that's the reason I've gotten recruited. I think if I had gone to other places, I would not have been as successful as I am today. I would have to probably give it to, I guess I would give it to the entire Morissette family. When I first started playing lacrosse, Jack Morissette he gave me my first lacrosse stick, and he was the first person to teach me how to throw and catch. First game I ever watched, I watched Henry and Jack Morissette playing, and then Luke Morissette, a close friend of mine, was my captain last year, and I grew up playing with him in middle school and then back in high school again. So really, the Morissettes have been a huge kind of influence on me in the game of lacrosse, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and how has your coach helped you throughout your time at OES?
For sure. I think one thing that people don't really realize is, so Austin Tweet, Cam Rayfish, and Dennis Sullivan have been my 3 OES lacrosse coaches throughout high school, and Austin Tui is actually my club coach as well. One thing that I feel like people don't really realize when it comes to recruiting is the fact that how much these coaches actually do for you in the recruiting process, rather than just, hey, it's springtime, we're playing lacrosse and we're trying to win games. I probably over the summer leading up to my senior year, which is when I got recruited, had maybe 20 to 25, like 15 to 20 minute phone calls with Sully. Like, I was on the phone with him at least 2 to 3 times a week. I was talking with him, I was emailing with him, same with Tweet as well. Basically, these coaches really kind of helped me on and off the field when it came to recruiting, and then also just in life as well.
So could you tell us like a little bit more about the recruiting process? Is it really like up to you to reach out to schools, or do they reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, obviously you're hoping that they're going to reach out to you, but you start by you kind of making that first move and building a relationship with them. So in the weeks kind of, I guess in the season, my high school season before summer of my senior year, I was already emailing coaches at least like 2 to 3 times a week, kind of giving them updates on how my high school season was going and telling them how excited I was to kind of get out there this summer and see them on the East Coast. Predominantly where most of the showcases and tournaments are. And then from there, you're hoping that basically they're not really going to respond to you that much until you really get into the summer. But you're hoping that once you do meet them, they're going to recognize your name and they're going to know who you are and they're going to be looking for you. So you really got to email them. And then once you're at these tournaments, you can't be afraid to just hopefully they'll see you. You got to like walk up to them, shake their hand, introduce yourself, say like, I hope you come watch my games. And then from there, hopefully they will have interest in you, and then that's when they'll reach out. But really, you got to do a lot of work up front to kind of build that relationship to start.
Sounds very stressful.
It was, yeah, I know. I think a lot of people kind of talk about how like a lot of people are going through stress applying to colleges right now, and I'm kind of a little more relaxed than most people. But I definitely had that. It's a different type of stress, but I had a lot of stress over the summer.
Yeah, and okay, so I know you're committed to Colby, and then Luke plays at Bates. And Colin is committed to Clarkson. Are you guys going to play each other?
So Bates is basically 20 minutes down the road from Colby, and they are in the same league. So I will play Luke twice a year. And Clarkson is in the Liberty League, I believe. I don't know if that's correct. That sounds right. Which is a different league. And so maybe there will be a scheduled out-of-league game, which would be a lot of fun to play against him. But it's not a guaranteed game against Clarkson. But they're a solid Division III school as well. And so I'm sure that they play a few NESCACs every year, which is the league I'm in. And so I'm sure maybe our paths will cross, which would be super exciting.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
2 more questions for you. What will you miss most about OES Lacrosse?
I honestly think OES Lacrosse, I played a few other sports at OES, and I think that OES Lacrosse definitely had a special kind of culture and community to it. And I think that basically I feel like OES Lacrosse it wasn't just a spring sport, it was just something that you had throughout your whole like year at OES. So I think just kind of having that community and that kind of like camaraderie, and then of course just kind of going out and playing with the boys against other teams in the springtime is just something that I'll miss for sure. I think that the friends and teammates that I've had here is something really special.
And finally, what is your favorite memory from OES Lacrosse?
Favorite memory from OES Lacrosse? Had a lot of good ones. I will probably say I think my favorite game that I've ever played, which is kind of most people's kind of favorite memories, was last year for our senior night. I was really close to most of the seniors, and we played Lincoln, our rivals, and we just kind of came out ready to play, and we just had a good game and everything clicked, and I think we won by 10 or 11. So it was a pretty big win. And I think just the spirit was high. That was kind of going into the postseason, getting ready for that. And so I just remember that game, and just kind of there's a lot of fans out there. The energy was really high, and that was just a super exciting experience.
And how's like the team looking this year? Did you have a lot of guys come out?
Yeah, so we had an interest meeting last week, and we lost 4 kind of big players, seniors last year. But we got a lot of guys returning. Last year we had a lot of guys who was their kind of first year, so this year they're going to have a little more experience under their belt going into it. And I'm really excited for this season. I think it's going to be a building year still for sure. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to work through, but I think it's going to be a little more of an experienced team, kind of knowing what they're doing, and I'm excited to come out and see how we do.
Is there anyone we should look out for?
Honestly, one player that I would actually want to highlight is Hayden Hubbard. He started playing lacrosse with us 2 seasons ago as a freshman, and then after this season or last season as a sophomore, he really turned it on. Really started loving the game of lacrosse and played club for all fall and all summer. So I'm super excited to get back on the field with him and see how his progress has increased. And I think that he's definitely going to be a really good defender for us, and he's going to cause a lot of trouble for our opposing teams.
Nice. Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
Thanks
Good luck
so much.
this season and at Colby next year.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.